Title: Across the Veil of Azure Glass. An excerpt from the travel journals of Lysander Vale, chronicler of the far spheres. I had long dreamt of reaching the Shattered Expanse, a region whispered of in guild taverns and old sky maps, where the land itself floats as fragments of azure crystal, suspended over endless mists. To most, it was myth, a world broken by the gods' quarrels. To me, it was a promise of discovery. Arrival, the sky-broken realm. The voyage began aboard the windship Seraphine's Wing, cutting through upper cloud currents of silver vapor. When the storm thinned, I saw it, an archipelago of glittering islands adrift in a sea of fog, each shard reflecting sunlight into radiant prisms. The air smelled faintly metallic, charged with unseen energy. Landing upon one of these floating lands was perilous. Gravity here was unreliable, as though the world's own rules had grown weary of obedience. My boots touched crystal soil that hummed beneath each step, pulsing with pale blue veins of light. The climate was temperate but unpredictable. Sudden gusts of warm wind followed by freezing mist. The locals called it the breath of the expanse, claiming it carried the whispers of long-dead titans. The people of Virellis. The first inhabitants I met were the Virellians, beings of delicate frame and translucent skin, their veins glowing faintly with the same azure hue as the ground. They live within luminescent spires, grown rather than built, structures coaxed from living crystal through resonant song. Their music shapes matter, every note alters form, and their language is more sung than spoken. Communication with them required a delicate balance of tone and emotion. They believe all things possess harmonics of being, a spiritual resonance that connects the living, the dead, and the land itself. Their rituals are breathtaking. At dawn, the entire community gathers on high terraces to sing to the rising light, their harmonies setting the very air aglow. It is said these dawn chants prevent the islands from drifting apart. Currency here is not metal, but echo dust, tiny crystal fragments carrying residual vibrations of sound. The stronger the echo, the greater its worth. They trade it for songs, craftsmanship, or stories from other worlds. A trial of the abyss. My first true challenge came while crossing the brink of silence, a deep rift between two major islands. It was said that no echo could return from its depths, that sound itself was devoured there. I had to reach the other side to access the Vault of Miren, a repository of ancient knowledge guarded by the Virillian keepers. I constructed a resonant bridge using tuning rods lent to me by a Virellian scholar named Sarai, who guided me with melodic signals from across the chasm. Each rod emitted a note that countered the abyss's devouring hum. As I advanced, the silence grew thick, so tangible it pressed against my skin like water. Halfway through, a sudden vibration shattered one of the rods. The abyss surged upward in a column of soundless wind, pulling me toward the void. Only by humming in perfect harmony with Sarai's guiding tone did I stabilize the frequency and complete the crossing. It was then I understood. In this world, survival depended not on strength or will, but on attunement to the land, to others, and to oneself. The Vault of Miren. The vault itself was a marvel, a colossal cavern filled with crystal archives, each one containing recorded memories in harmonic patterns. When touched, they sang the thoughts and images of those long gone. I heard the voice of an ancient explorer, recounting the first time the skies shattered and the islands rose. His final message was simple: the expanse endures because we listen. It struck me then that perhaps this was not just a world broken by divine war, but one sustained by remembrance, its very survival dependent on those who refuse to let its music fade. Reflections beyond the shards. When I finally left the Shattered Expanse, the Seraphine's Wing sailed through a sunset of fractured colors, reflections bending across endless horizons. The Virellian's farewell song echoed faintly in my bones, a melody that would not leave me. In my old world, we rush, we speak over one another, we drown our own echoes in noise. But here, amid floating shards and singing light, I learned to listen, to the hum of stone, the cadence of silence, the subtle rhythm that binds all things. I returned with no treasure, but the memory of resonance, an understanding that perhaps the universe is not meant to be conquered, but heard. In my old world, we rush, we speak over one another, we drown our own echoes in noise. But here, amid floating shards and singing light, I learned to listen. To the hum of stone, the cadence of silence, the subtle rhythm that binds all things. I returned with no treasure, but the memory of resonance, an understanding that perhaps the universe is not meant to be conquered, but heard.